If you've been to my channel before, you know how much I love franchise rebuilds, dynasty rebuilds, and that's exactly what I want to go over today. I want to go over 5 things I want to see added to MLB either 21, since it's coming out on 4/20, or future of MLB games. I want to go over 5 things I want to see added to the franchise mode. So if you want to watch that video, stick around. If you're new to the channel, just know that I do a lot of franchise dynasty rebuilds with multiple games, but MLB is getting ready to come out, and I did a lot of MLB content last year, and I'm planning on doing a bunch this year, whether it be Diamond Dynasty, whether it be franchise rebuild, road to the show, all of that good stuff. I'm going to be making videos on it, so make sure if you want some good MLB content, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can come back and watch these. So the first thing I want to start with is I've gotten a lot of questions asked about franchise, because I do a lot of franchise rebuilds, and that's what I kind of have here is the franchise rebuild I used last year. And I got a bunch of questions on what do I want to see added to the game, what do I want to see in the game in general. And so I want to go over 5 things, and I have more than 5 things. I might make multiple videos on this just depending on what I get covered, but the main 5 things I want to see added to this game is what we're going to go over today. So the first thing is we need multiple team trades. This is, I can't say it's easy. Like I know how to program, but it is difficult to program these types of things. But we have seen multiple trade teams, like in NBA, you can trade between 3 teams, and that happens a lot in the MLB. They trade between 3 teams, they trade all this other stuff. And I feel like it has to be added into the game. The way it is right now is you basically have 2 trades, or you have 2 teams trading here, and you got the select players from both, and you get a feedback thing saying whether or not they would do it, whether or not they won't. And I feel like you have to add a 3rd team. I feel like there's so many trades that go through in the MLB be with 3 teams. Just like this year, if you're a Royals fan, you know Benintendi came over from Boston, but you know there was 3 teams in that trade. They have to add that to the game. It needs to be added. It's one of the most, I guess, critical thing that needs to be added. Now, that's going to lead us to the number 2 thing on our list that I want to see added is the ability to trade with money. So if you play out of the park baseball, which I do, if you play out of the park baseball, you know that you can trade money as well as players. So if, you know, say I want, we're going to give up Witt and we want John Means. I would never do this, but say we want this, and the reason we want this is because we need to free up some cap room. So we look at this and we see that Witt has $4 million in salary and John Means has $606K in salary, and obviously Baltimore is going to get the better end of the deal. What I want to be able to do is add on and say Baltimore owes us $5 million with John Means for Whit Merrifield, and so basically we'd be getting rid of $4 million and getting $5 million and a player back. And they do this in out of park baseball, and it's really, really cool. They also go even further into it, and you could take a certain portion of a contract of a player. So maybe I say I want to pay 50% of John Means trade cap or trade contract. So when I get him, I'm only paying him $303,000, and Baltimore's paying him the rest of his contract. So I want to see those things added into the game, because I feel like it would really, really change the landscape of franchise, being able to make these trades and being able to make some really good blockbuster trades. Because the problem is now the only way you can get salary cap is to go through and basically sell your players off by trading them. Well, what if I don't want to trade Whit Merrifield for one of their players? Or what if I need the salary cap and a player on their team is really good, and or say they need the salary cap and they have a player that's really good and they want to part ways with them. Let's find, so they say they want Ryan Mountcastle, right? And his contract isn't very much, but they want more money besides Whit Merrifield, that I could trade Whit and $3 million for this guy. And so I feel like the money added to it and the 3-team, as I said in the first one, would make trading so much better and really make franchise better itself. So the third thing I want to talk about is something that I've wanted to see in video games for a very, very long time. Now, it's going to be hard to do, and I know that, but I want to see, I think it would add so much to a franchise, to a rebuild, to a storyline, because if you watch some of my franchises, you know I try to follow along a storyline. Like my NCAA football rebuild with KU, I have a storyline, and players get hurt, players move on, players get, moved from the team, they get, all this stuff. And I feel like that would be a great thing for all sports games moving forward. And a great way to do that would to be able to look into your recruits. And what I mean by that is, I'm not a huge fan of this whole layout they have right now, but what I want to see is, so if I go over to this guy, this catcher here, he's 19 years of age. Okay, I have all of this data, right? And this is based on your scout saying, I think he's an 80 potential, 60 overall. This isn't like a exact thing, which I'm fine with. That's not what I'm complaining about. What I want to see is, why can't we look into, so you open his stuff here, right? Why can't we see statistical data or be able to see data on this player? So all I could see here is basically a scouting. Why can't I see that in high school, because he's 19, he's probably either in high school or, yeah, he's probably a high school player. Why can't I see that in high school he hit like a 683 average with 32 home runs in 19 games? Why can't I see that going into it? That would add so much depth to it. And to take it a step farther, which would be awesome, and it would be very, very difficult to do, but I think it could be done if you had a team completely dedicated to working on this, is maybe come up with 100 at the beginning, 100 dedicated players that they look at. So if I want to see the pitching of this Bobby Dark, I can't see how he throws. I can't see if he's got a long release, if he's got a short release. I can't see any of that. So basically, when you're drafting these guys, you're drafting them based on their projections scouted, that your scout has given you, but you're not seeing what you're actually getting out of the player. Because I know that I pitch better with guys that have a short release. So people that have a long windup, I don't pitch as well with them as I do with pitchers that have a shorter windup. So those are the things I want to see added to franchise, and I feel like that would really, really make franchise dense and fun to play. Because right now it seems like it's kind of the same game, and that's why I want to see these things added, is I feel like franchise has been the same for probably 4 or 5 years now. And I think this would really, really make a difference. So I want to see more out of scouting. I want to see statistical data. I want to see that this dude 22 coming from the Dominican Republic, and I want to see his statistical data, because if he has like a 6 ERA, I don't want to draft him. But if he has like a 1.24 and his buddy or someone else in here has like a 3.45, then maybe I want the 1.24. So I want to see that type of data added into the scouting of MLB The Show. All right, for the fourth thing, what I want to see is prospects and a general knowledge. So if you go to MLB.com, you can look up the best 10 prospects, the top 30 prospects of each team, and I wish they would break these down. So they do. I love this. They do tell you the top prospects, the top 50 prospects in the league. Now, what I wish you could see here is I wish you could change from team to team and see their prospects. I also would love to see like an estimated like an ETA for how long it's going to take to get there. So you look at this, you see there's just not enough data on this to be able to helpful. So you see Dominguez, you know he's good because you know baseball. But here I have to click on him and I have to see, oh, he's a 71 overall. He's an A potential. He's 18 years of age. All that stuff. Really don't like is the statistics in general. If they play in the lower leagues, you don't get any of that data. You only get MLB data, which I wish they would change. They have to change that. Because, yeah, I want to know how my players played in AA and AAA. And it's not that hard. They keep those stats. Why not show them? And on this screen where it says 2021, do AA Kansas City, and then show all their stats in AA. I don't understand how that's not added in. But again, that's another completely different thing. But what I want to see on this top prospects is I want to be able to go over to the Royals and see my top prospects and their MLB ETA, which is on MLB.com, where they say like, oh, this guy will probably be ready to play in 2023. Just like they do when you scout them here. So if you go scout them here, you see the little MLB ETA 2024. So that tells you that they think in 2024 he's going to be ready to play. Same thing with this 2025 plus, meaning, you know, probably past the year of 2025 is when this recruit's going to be ready to be in the MLB. I want to see that with the top prospects, and I want to see the top prospects for each team so that I can kind of go through and say, oh, this team has basically a ton of top prospects. You know, maybe I want to take one from them. It would just be easy to do to make it into a searchable thing, and I would be able to see my top 30 prospects. So I don't know my top prospects. The only way I know my top prospects is if I go to top prospects and go down, but then they only list whatever I have, and I don't know after that do I have a top prospect? Is there, you know what I mean? So I feel like they should add more to the top prospects with just searching with team and with like an MLB ETA, so that you kind of know, oh, I have a guy down here that is 2025 plus, which means I'm gonna have to wait 6 years for him to get up. Or if I want to win now, maybe he's a guy I trade to another team to get a guy back that is ready, or MLB now ready. When they are rebuilding, they want a guy that they want to wait till 2025 to use that guy. And so the last thing I really want to see changed is going to be the training. I honestly have done so many franchise rebuilds, and I honestly can't tell you that I see a difference between even training your guys. I don't see a difference between when I want them to do hitting coach session and when I do like an auto. I don't see any of those actually increase. The only things I see increase is their, I guess, data throughout the season. So if they're if they're playing really good and striking out a whole bunch of guys, you'll see their Ks go up, which is good. But in here, the training should be used for getting up things that you might not be good at. That's the whole point. So if Whit Merrifield needs better job at vision, discipline, and clutch, I want him to like get better at those statistics. I don't want at the end of the year to see those went down because his stats weren't like showing that, which is fine, but like that's the whole point of the training. I don't feel like the training actually makes a difference, and I think the training in general is very scuffed, to say the least, and scuffed means that it's not very good. MLB has kind of had this for several years, and I love the way Madden does their training, and I know you can't go through each of these guys every single week and give them training, but I would love to see it go off of an XP system. So in Madden, I'll pop it up here. In Madden, you have a guy and he has an XP system, and if he reaches that XP, then he gets an upgrade, and then you can use that upgrade wherever you want to use as kind of like a training. So I want to see Whit Merrifield, if he's like killing it, he's doing all this, he gets an upgrade, and then boom, I could set it to the vision, discipline, and clutch without him, you know, like maybe he increases a level or whatever, and at the end of the season he's getting older, so his levels drop. I just want to be able to kind of pick what my players get better at. There's no point in Hunter Dozier getting better at base running drills when his stealing is an 8 and his speed is a 68? How many bases do you think he's going to be stealing in a season? What is the point of that? Why not? He's doing really good. He has a really good March, or maybe even like a weekly thing. You can upgrade players or whatever based on XP. Let's say in the week he had 4 home runs and 13 RBIs, so he had 20,000 XP. He gets a level up. So in that level up, I can go through and say, I really want him to be better at discipline, clutch, and vision. And so then I can go in here and make that change for him and go, boom, hitting coach session, and he gets a hitting coach session where he's swinging the bat or whatever and learning these things, and he gets an upgrade at those. I just don't think this is a very good training system. I think that Madden has the best training system for that, and I think that would be a road they might want to go down, where the better your player's playing, the more XP he gets, and even the players down below. So this is just MLB players. Okay, what happens to this guy down here? It says he's hot, so he must be hitting really, really good right now. By the way, still can't see what he's hitting in AA because that's not a thing. And I want to see, oh, he's hitting, he's killing it. He had a really good week. He gets 2 upgrades. What do I want to put those 2 upgrades for? Well, I want to train him to be better at contact. So I go over here to contact, and I press A, and it says, oh, he had a session with the coaches. He learned how contact. He gained 1 contact versus right and 1 contact versus left. And then the other upgrade, I want to do contact again, and maybe he does 1 left contact and something else that's maybe not necessarily in there, but maybe he gets 1 clutch. I want to be able to spend the time on a player to make them better, and I want their training to actually make a difference. I don't want to spend this time working with this guy, and at the end of the year they're like, well, you hit 340, you get 2 contact, that's all you get. And that to me is just crazy. So those are the things I want to see changed in the franchise mode, and I know I kind of went in depth with it. There's a bunch more things I want to see changed, a bunch of things that I think would make a difference, but I think that this is kind of the basis of what I want to see moving forward, not necessarily with MLB 21, but maybe with MLB in the future. I want to see the multiple team trades. I want to see being able to use money and budget and contracts as part of the trading system. I want to see the 3 teams, or even more. You can do more. I don't know if the MLB actually allows you to do more than like a 3-team trade, but I want to see the recruits and the scouting completely taken over and redone with MLB ETAs. I want to see statistics from them. I want to see like scouting reports, like this guy is good at hitting inside and doing this and doing that. He has a short delivery. I want to see that type of stuff. I want to see like a top 10, top 20, top 30, whatever prospects for each team. I also want to see the MLB ETAs for the player on those prospect lists. And then I want to see the training sessions completely rebuilt and useful for building my team, because right now none of that stuff is in the franchise mode, and a couple tweaks here and there would really, really add to the franchise type of rebuilds and would really add to a story of your players. I feel like right now you kind of just plug and go and mix and match, and there's no like real reason to keep your player. But if you're building your player, okay, if you're scouting him and he has this great swing and you love it and you draft him and he comes in at AA, and you have those statistics to show you that he is improving at AA, then you can move him to AAA and you can give him all these training upgrades because he's having a great season, and then you can take him to the majors, and you got him from being scouted all the way up to the majors and using him on your MLB team. And those are the reasons why at least I play franchises, to completely take one person or multiple people and take them from the beginning all the way up till their MLB debut and having a great career, and then they retire and everything's great. If you guys want to see some of those changes, or if you want to see different changes in franchise for the future of MLB, make sure you comment those down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit that red subscribe button, and I will be coming out with some more MLB content very soon, so make sure you hit that red subscribe button so that you can catch those videos as well. Till next time, Slacker out.